to the Mildly Dramatic Podcast, your new favorite podcast. We took a week off, regroup, and get ready to bring you everything that we could possibly have to offer. Brendan, how are you feeling after your 1 week vacation?
Oh, I'm refreshed and ready to go. You guys can see my face.
Yeah, I was about to say your skin is glowing, the beard looks immaculate.
I am just very, very pale.
You're
You know what
glowing.
we need?
You
I
got a
need
pale
a.
glow.
Do I? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know something crazy? So I had my light on in my apartment earlier, and I was like, "Wow, bro, you look pasty as shit. We gotta fix this." So then I went over, turned off my light, got the lighting right, and now I look a little tanner.
Yeah. Now you got a beautiful
Here we
glow.
are. Yeah. If girls can
Engineering.
edit their pictures, I can look a little less pasty on the webcam.
Yeah, we just need a couple ring lights.
That's facts. That's facts.
Ring lights, and we'll be twerking on TikTok in an hour.
Oh, that thing will be thangin'.
That thing sure shall.
Oh.
As always, we got another fantastic show for you. We're going to kick it off, as always, with our high, low, high. Then we're going to get into our story times. And then we got some other, we're just going to do a 2020 recap. But as always, we got something special for you guys today, especially after a week off. Trust me, we missed it. This is our
We're in the heat.
What that girl say? Guys don't go to therapy; they start podcasts.
Facts.
We missed a week of therapy.
We got a lot to vent about.
So. Oh, we got a lot to cover.
We're here, baby. Let's go.
Go ahead, kick us off, B. Hit us with your high, low, high for the last 2 weeks or so.
All right. So, my first high would definitely have to be last weekend I stayed with Mitch. That's obviously why we didn't have an episode last week. I stayed with Mitch. I was there from Thursday until Monday morning. Got to see one of the kids that he works with. Not kids. We're not kids anymore. One of the guys that he works with. Super cool dude. He lives in Chicago now. Why I couldn't think of that. And then I got to see Nick, our friend Nick. He lives in Indy, and Mitch lives in Valparaiso, Indiana. So got to see them. Just got to hang out there. It was a good time. Drank too much, but you know how that goes.
Who cares about that?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about that. And then my low would definitely have to be, kind of two lows actually. My eating the past week and a half has just been shit. So I need to figure that out. I've been researching on what I need to do to get shredded by May. So we're gonna be we're gonna be into that. We're gonna be into that. So that's one of my lows, and then my other low, I'm moving out of my apartment that I'm currently in. I've been in for a year and a half. I'm moving out tomorrow, so I'm gonna be, I love my parents to death, but just gonna be there for a couple weeks, and
you can't have Tinder tricks running in and about mom and dad's house.
No, they don't play that. They don't play those games. So yeah, that would definitely be the low. I gotta find a new place. I start work in a week. I have a week off. I start the 4th. I'm just fucking excited to get into that, man. I'm excited to start full time, start making some cheese. I'm excited.
The squad's proud of you and ready to see you succeed. So we're all hyped.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
Then we're gonna move you down to 513.
Hey, trust me. Give it a couple years and it'll happen. And then my second high definitely just have to be these 2 weeks. I've seen so many people that I haven't seen in a while, and it was really nice. Especially for Christmas. My family didn't really do much. We usually go to my grandma's Christmas Day, and then to my aunt's on my mom's side Christmas Eve, and then my aunt's on my dad's side on Christmas Day, for dinner. I didn't get to do any of that. I went out and saw my aunt and my uncle Christmas Eve day. And saw my grandma, and that was really nice, man. I haven't seen them in literally a year. My aunt I haven't seen in a year, and my aunt wasn't doing great last time that I talked to her. So I think she's doing better now. So that's good. And just seeing them, it's nice. So that's it.
Okay. That's solid though. Yeah. it's always good to hear the family's doing better,
Mm-hmm.
especially than the last time you talked to them.
Yep.
Love to hear that. My high, low high, it's pretty simple. Christmas with Veda was special this year. I was able to get her as many gifts as I wanted. I'm in a much better position than I was last year. Last year was tough. My grandfather had just died. I had just gotten fired from my job. And then I was in the process of getting hired at my current job. So the cheese wasn't there. It wasn't no, you just had a burger. You didn't get the cheeseburger last year.
Plain.
This year we got to throw onions and lettuce and tomatoes. We had the whole thing this year. So it was really fun. I got her a car, which, like I said, 13 and a half years, we need every day of it because it was rough out there. She really loves to aim for ditches, which is not ideal when
That's
you're
nice.
driving. Yeah.
That's
So
great.
got stuck a couple times, pull her out to, that whole thing. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. Yeah. Christmas with Veda was truly special this year. I really enjoyed it. My low for the past week and a half, 2 weeks, has been something that's lingering with me. My grandfather's birthday is the 20th, so that was just a rough day. With all my family in Oklahoma, I went up to the cemetery, saw his grave, stuff like that, fixed the flowers and the stuff that was around it, and sat there for a minute. So that was just, it was good for me at the same time as it was incredibly difficult. That was my first time being there by myself, so that was interesting for me. But like I said, it was really good for me just to be able to just talk. Obviously, he wasn't there, but just to have an open air, it felt like, to just, So, yeah. So that would probably be my low for sure. And then my next high would just be Scar's family. It was really incredible to just hang out with them on Christmas, just be around them, how much they've just accepted me into their family and got me this amazing gift. So keep pounding as always. But yeah, Scar's family is special place in my heart. So that was probably my third high, would just be the holiday itself, which I'm usually a Grinch. So I think this year the Grinch's heart grew 3 times bigger. It's special.
You're gonna have to post that video of Veda in the car after this episode, because that was awesome.
Yeah.
I showed that to my parents, and they're like, "That is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah. I just don't understand why she stopped. So why did you hit the grass and then just
stopped instantly?
She had zero reaction too.
All
right. She drives like me, so it is what it is. How upset can I be?
Not upset at all.
Right. All righty. So that's our high, low, high. As always, we love to start with that. It's a good kick. It's a good Kickstarter for us. Gets the engine going. But we didn't need much of an engine getting going for this.
Oh, no.
This is something we're going to do because we had so much fun with it, just talking. It's story time. Brendan's going to kick us off this week with story time because he's had an eventful last 2 weeks.
Being a single man and just navigating your 20s is the funniest fucking shit I think possible. If I could hire an assistant to just follow me around, and A, follow me around, and B, just have a camera on my phone at all times, I would be a millionaire at this point. So my first story, this was 2 weeks ago. So was it before? No, it was the Monday. So we didn't have an episode last week. It was the Monday before that. And so for last Christmas, with the cheese that I got, I ended up buying a pair of the Powerbeats. I think they're the Powerbeats 3s or the Powerbeats Pro 3s or something. They're wireless headphones. They just go in your ear. There's nothing behind you or nothing. It's just those. And the Bluetooth on them sucks. It's the weirdest thing. It was really good for the first couple months that I had it, and then it just started to suck. And so the past month, I've been looking at getting a new pair of headphones, but past month, the Bluetooth like has been disconnecting all the time. I get to the gym and I'll pull my headphones out of the little case, and only one of them will be connected. And like when you're at the gym, like that's why I need tunes. Like I'm not working out if I don't have music.
Right.
And so I'm prepping for leg day, and if you guys know me, not a big leg day guy. I'm getting more into it, but not a big leg day guy. So I have a really bad knee problem. Won't get into all of that. Not part of the story. But so I have this band, and it's supposed to it's called a monster crawl, and so I do monster crawls, and I do just like basically like a lane slide in basketball. If you guys know what a lane slide is, I'll basically do that, but just one way down the court, and then the next way I'll lead with my other leg. It's just supposed to help your hips, just kind of like stimulate your hips a little bit more, stretch them out so there's not as much pressure on your quad and your knees. It actually really does help. But okay, so at the rec center in Akron, I'm in the actual basketball court, and in the basketball court, since the whole COVID thing, they have the ab mats in there. So I walk in, and at this time, my headphones are just disconnected. That was the whole like precursor headphone thing. So headphones disconnected, pissed off, fuck. So I was like, I'm gonna stretch, and then I'm going to go in and fix these. So walking in, I set my shit on the little bench, and I put the band around my legs, and there's like a little spot right in the baseline of the basketball court where there's nothing. There's like a couple ping pong tables, and then there's ab mats. And these two girls are on the ab mats, and they don't have headphones in because they're lifting together, which I still have headphones in if I'm lifting with someone, but they're just chilling. Like, I don't know if they were stretching, if they were just sitting there talking, whatever they were doing. That's not my business. But so I put this thing around my legs, and I start walking, and I start doing my monster crawls, start doing my stretches, and I have my headphones in, but there's no sound coming in them, and they're not like noise canceling. So it's basically like I don't have headphones in at this point. So I am, doing my thing, and I'm starting to like progressively get closer. And I had on my necklace, if you can see it, my Jesus piece. The Jesus piece. So I do my thing, and I get really close to them. And I hear this girl, and like obviously she thought that I had headphones in, so like there was no way that I was going to hear what she was saying. And this girl like doesn't even whisper, like doesn't even make it like remotely discreet.
Because she was sure you couldn't hear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people are going to think that this is cap. Like I already know people are going to think this is cap, but it was, I swear on everything. So I'm doing my monster crawl, and I hear this girl, she turns to her friend, and I was like trying not to look at her at this point because I knew she was talking about me, and they were both staring at me the whole time. So walking up, she goes, I really want that necklace in my face.
What?
Swear to God. And her friend like whispered something back to her, and then they both like started to chuckle, and they just turned around. And I was
what
like,
did you say?
I did nothing.
I should punch you in your face. Who does that?
I didn't know what to do, dude. What do you do in that situation? I was Ricky Bobby. I didn't know what to do with my face. I was so caught off guard. I was like, I almost had a heart attack straight up. I almost fucking croaked on the basketball court. It was crazy.
This is why we need the soundboard.
Yeah.
I needed the who does that button. Who does that?
Bro. It was
my God. You should have put the necklace in her face.
I know. I regret it now. And her friend was actually even more attractive. I said not a single word.
You didn't say a single word to either of them.
Nope.
Like ever. Not even right after that. You didn't like.
Nope.
So you just acted like you didn't hear it at all.
Exactly.
I want to punch you in the throat.
I want to punch myself in the throat. They were hot too. I was so like.
There's nothing you could say to make this okay.
I was so caught off guard. I didn't know what to do. Straight up, I didn't know what to do.
There's nothing you can say. Next time, if you ever see this woman again.
Oh, trust me, I know.
If you don't walk up to her and say, do you still want this necklace in your face? You will be kicked in the dick. There's no
Yeah, that was like one of the first times I had seen them at the gym too, so it wasn't like they were gonna be back, or I won't be back at least. But yeah.
This is blatantly embarrassing.
And no, I'm embarrassed. I had to tell the story because it was just too good not to tell. But bro,
Oh
crazy,
God.
crazy. I like. How do you just approach them and like?
You heard her say she wanted to have sex with you.
I
There's
know.
literally the door is open for you to say whatever you want that isn't incredibly inappropriate. She has already put it at a level 9.
She's
As long
like,
as you
yeah,
don't go above
she
level 9,
wow, she
you're
turned it
good.
up to start. She turned it up to start. Yeah, that
You
was
can
my
say
fault. Straight
whatever
up.
you want. You could be like, "Oh damn, you mean that?" You can say whatever you want. You could literally say whatever you want.
Well, I don't have game like that. I wouldn't even know what to say. Straight up.
Brennan Lindsay.
I was caught off guard, man. I was caught
Unbelievable.
off guard. I don't know what to do.
Oh, I don't even know what to say to you.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna move past that because I'm getting a little upset. But it's okay. So here's what's funny: is I just bashed you for that, and then I'm
Yeah.
about to tell my story,
That's why I
and
put
it's
this
gonna be
story
like
behind my story.
I didn't think about it, so I just looked at the list, and I'm like, oh,
Because I knew I was about to, yeah, I knew that was what was
that
going
was
to
a good
happen.
setup.
So
You just set me up for
I
the
got
bottom.
you. Yep.
Oh, all right, I gotta roll my sleep. All right. So
This is
this
story
is
time, story two.
yeah. So this part of our podcast is labeled Kenny's floor story. So when I asked Brennan, I'm like, I told that last week. I thought he was talking about the furniture polish, but no, he's not talking about
No, it's
furniture.
not. Nope. The opposite,
All right.
actually.
So, oh man, I don't know what's worse, this or the furniture polish. Anyway, so the floor story. This is a story very near and dear to my heart because it's the funniest thing I've ever been around. It's something very interesting that I can't believe happened to this day. All right, so if you don't know, before like 2018 New Year's, I didn't drink. So like I had never had a sip of alcohol until I was 20 years old. So me, Zach, Malik, and a couple other unnamed friends, we go to a party in Indiana, and I want to say it was New Year's, but I don't think it was New Year's. It might have. It had to be New Year's because Alabama had just played like Washington for the
Yeah.
like second college football playoff or some shit. Anyway, that's irrelevant. We're at this party, and we stayed in Indiana for like 3 days. But the night of the party, when everybody was there, like the party was fun as hell, but it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and obviously this was pre-COVID, so everything's still open, like Taco Bell, White Castle, everything that's like open is still open. And they're like, we need a we need a DD to drive us to Taco Bell. So I'm like, fuck that. So I'm not driving 20 drunk people to Taco Bell. No, fuck that. So I went upstairs and laid in on the floor of one of the girls' rooms that lived in the house that the party was at. So at one point later that night, when they completely give up, it has to be like 5 o'clock at this point. They completely give up on finding a DD. That's completely thrown out the window. So now everybody has decided that they're going to bed, hungry, whatever. I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't driving to Taco Bell. So the girl that whose room this is comes in the room while I'm laying on the floor, changes her clothes. Not even changes. I shouldn't even say changes her clothes. She takes her clothes off to where she's just in a bra and panties and lays down in the bed. Now, you would think, okay, I didn't know whether she drank or not. It turns out she didn't. So that's thrown out the window. But I didn't know if she had drank or not. So I'm going to use that as my defense because I feel like that's fair defense. I didn't know if she had drank or not. Don't roll your eyes at me. I didn't know. I wasn't sure. She didn't drink. She didn't drink. I'm going to use it as my defense. I don't give a fuck. I didn't know if she drank. She didn't. Anyway, so she's laying in the bed and we talk about random BS. We're BSing for hours. Hours and hours and hours. Like, it had to be like 6 or 7 by the time we actually fell asleep. So we both end up going to sleep. And then, boom, we dip in the morning to go back to Cincinnati. Me and our group of friends that went to Indiana. We go back to Cincinnati. We were playing in a rec league at the time. So we finished our rec league game. And the friend that we were with that is unnamed gets a text message from the girl that I was talking to. And she was like, well, let me go back. Let me go back to before we left Indiana. Because we came out the room and I guess during the party, everybody knew that she was trying to get a piece of K Nasty. Except K Nasty. Like, no one told me.
The most important part of that, no one told you.
Yeah, so everybody else knew. So we're at this party. Everyone else knows. So when we leave the room in the morning, everybody's like, how was it? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about. But nothing went on in that room. But they all knew that she was trying to have something go on in that room. So they're like, that's Cap. How was it? I'm like, first of all, I'd have came out that room breakdancing. But I wasn't because nothing happened. Anyway, still, no one tells me. Whole car ride home, nothing. No one tells me. I guess everybody still just thought I was lying. I had no idea. We play basketball. We play our basketball game. Boom. We're leaving. She gets a text message saying, I won't say her name. I think I just remembered her name. But she really wanted to do stuff with you last night. Now listen, we talked for hours. Yes, I could have been a creepy dude. I could have just climbed up in the bed. I get that. But that's creepy to me. Look, it sounds so stupid coming out of my mouth now. But it sounds creepy to me. But anyway, she never invited me into her bed. You don't just climb in somebody's bed without an invitation. I feel like that's fair.
Okay. Is that the end of this end of the story? Can I say my piece now?
Yeah.
If you were talking to her for hours, a random girl is not just gonna sit there and shit with you for 2 hours, bro. She was trying.
In her broad pants.
She was trying to have you inside of her cheeks, and you were. Yeah, that's not great. That's not a great look.
What does that say? That's an L for the boys.
Yeah, that's an L for the boys. Yep. Not great for the boys.
But I don't know. There is a.
I can't believe no one gave
you a little
pre-game speech like K Nasty, bro. Like.
But that's also kind of my fault because I hid because everybody wanted to go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, but she knew that you were in the room, though. She should have. It was on her too. She should have just been
right.
Like, what you doing down there?
Yeah. Anything, any hint, like, damn, is that floor comfortable?
Yeah, anything. I hear you, but you should have initiated it too.
You're right. I didn't know if she drank.
Yeah, but if she wanted to sleep with you before she started drinking.
Yeah, but she didn't drink. It didn't matter.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
L for the boys. 2 L's for the boys in the past 20 minutes. That's tough.
That L's for the boys. Well, yours was recent, so you know what defense I'm going to use? I was 18. Boom. There's my defense. You have no excuse. You're 23 and way hornier than I was at 18. Not by much. I won't say way. Kind of hornier than I was at 18. So I'm going to use that I was 18 as my defense, and we'll go with that.
That was bad. That was a fat L. I'll hold it.
Yeah.
Tough scene.
Okay. Why are we just embarrassing ourselves here? We're 2 stories in, 2 embarrassing stories. Brennan's Tinder story is going to pick us up and save the day.
Yeah, this is gonna be a quick one. I just wanted to tell this because this just solidifies what we've been telling you guys for the past 8 episodes.
I didn't
So
know the story, so I was just really guessing on that one. And if
yeah,
you
no,
would
no,
have
no,
said,
it's
"Nah,
good.
this isn't gonna pick us up," I'd
No,
have been
it's
like,
good.
"Fuck."
Okay, so I matched with this chick. She's probably like low key the most attractive girl I've ever seen on Tinder. 100.
Boom, we need a name.
She was fine. She was fine.
We need a
So
name.
she doesn't get a name.
Oh no,
No, she doesn't get.
we're going downhill. This is
Yeah.
going downhill.
So I'm like, this girl's banging. Holy shit! This isn't my Tinder game here. This is serious. So I'm like, oh shit, I better get my shit together. So she actually messaged me first too. We matched,
Okay.
and she messaged me first. I'm like, oh, I bet. Um, so then just having a casual conversation, and she was just really boring. Like I could tell their personality was just dry, just really really dry, but she was fucking banging. So I just kind of dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that this is perfect for our podcast. This is perfect. So I said, I can't remember exactly how I said it. Because I usually say like, well, would you rather text or Snapchat me? Like I
Right.
told you before, you got to give them the option. Don't let them choose, or let them
Right.
choose. Give them the option. Like the
Right.
whole Scarlet, where do you want to eat thing.
Yeah.
So I said text or Snapchat, and she goes, no, we got to talk about something first.
She was a man.
No, I was like, okay.
Oh my. I got a
And
little nervous.
like, okay, what's up? She's like, I can't remember exactly I'm trying to get the exact words right. Because I just like unmatched with her after this. I didn't even respond.
Oh
She
no.
said, oh my God, she said, I'm trying to get the exact words. I'm not usually, I'm something along the lines of, I'm not usually all about the whole Tinder situation. I don't usually meet people on here. I really don't like talking to random people. So I just have to ask you, first off, how many relationships have you been and how many people have you slept with?
What?
Swear to God, that was her. Before she gave me her number or her Snapchat, that was for the two questions that she wanted to answer. Because she doesn't talk to people on Tinder.
And you see how big of a turnoff that is? We are two fucking old women.
I thought of that.
How old was she?
I saw 20 or 21. I saw that and I instantly thought of you. I was like, oh my God. Like it was fucking perfect. And it was the corniest shit. I'm like, bro, this girl's banging. And that was just this.
Where does that insecurity come from? Not saying that pretty people can't have insecurities. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, what does that insecurity come from that you got to say that?
Yeah. It was so weird. And like her conversations with me before that it was just dry. And like I was sending like actually trying to like, keep the conversation going. And she was just fucking nothing. Just nothing.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's not it. We are too fucking old to be doing that shit.
I was thinking with my head up here and not my head down there at that time. I was like, done.
No, because you still thought with your head upstairs. Because you unmatched with her. She did not deserve. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Come on, man.
Yeah, not great. Not a great.
Ew, that's disgusting. That hurts my feelings.
Yeah, it hurt my feelings too. But
I can't believe people are still doing that.
Just like out of the blue, like she would not give me her Snapchat or like exchange numbers or nothing until she figured that out. Then
that was gonna. Yeah. Any direction that would have went, it would have been unbelievably childish.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's exactly what I thought.
Gross. Not happy.
Yeah.
Not happy to hear that. But that's not an L for the boys, so we'll take it. Take that any chance we can.
And that's story time.
Story time was fun.
That was.
Story time might have to be more often.
Yeah, I have so many stories.
I don't have as many. I don't know why I kick story time off with probably my best story.
So like my thing is like all these stories that I'm gonna tell, like girls listen to this that like talk to me, and then I'm not. They're not gonna talk to me anymore.
I know a few that'll still talk to you.
I have
I've
one or
had
two.
conversations with a few that aren't going anywhere. You just need to smarten up.
That's probably never gonna happen.
It'll happen. Or I'm gonna beat the hell out of you. There's a small country in Europe that would. Never mind. I'll stop there. But we know where it's going. That's not a country. I'm sorry. No, that is a country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a country. Yeah, so get it together. Get it the fuck together. We got a small country in Europe that's really trying to, you know. Anyway, 2020 recap is where we're going next. Get it together, because now you got me distracted. Get it together. Small country in Europe. We're coming for you, Greece. We're coming. Just hold on. Hang tight.
We'll see.
Hang tight. Just give him some time. He's done.
She's on vacation like fucking every other week, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that.
Anyway, in the time between that, we're not getting into that. We're not getting into Greece. We're not getting into Greece.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, 2020 recap. It's been a fun year. Not really. Kind of a whack year. But there's been a lot of growth for us as people this year. So that will always count as a W. Fuck you, Corona. You can't stop growth. You can stop basketball, March Madness. You can make interviews weird after sporting events. You can shut down boxing. You can shut down gyms. You can close bars, restaurants, and make DeWine close us down at 10 o'clock. But you can't stop personal growth. So fuck you, Corona.
That's going to be a TikTok.
Fuck you. Yeah. Fuck you, Corona. Anyway, 2020 recap. Just give us a rundown of how your 2020 went. And I mean top to bottom. Your relationships, all of that. Favorite teams. We're just gonna chat about 2020.
Yeah. Man, what a fucking year. Yeah. Right? What a fucking year. I mean, going into 2020, if I knew what was ahead of me, I would have just, I don't even know, man.
Like, we should have known when Kobe died.
Yeah, that's facts.
We should have been like, there's about to be some bullshit.
Do you remember where okay, so there's like, this is kind of off topic, but do you remember where you were when like you heard? Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is my phone doing?
Yep.
I was like, why the fuck would Bleacher Report send me some bullshit like this? Mm-hmm. I'm coming in the garage at Scarlett's house, walking up the steps, and I get Kobe Bryant in helicopter crash. He died. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I walk in the house, I look on ESPN, the breaking news ticker puts it at the bottom. I'm like, what? Then I found out his daughter was on the helicopter, and I'm like, and the first thing I thought about when I saw that he died, I thought of his wife, and initially his daughters, because at first we didn't know who was on the helicopter with him. And I'm like, oh my God, those little girls just lost a father. And I broke down. I just started crying.
Yeah.
Because that hurt. Just thinking of Veda and thinking of those girls losing a fight. Oh my God, it broke my heart.
Yep.
And then just to think, I think any athlete growing up in our generation was truly inspired by Kobe's work ethic. Mm-hmm. I think there was a piece of Kobe in every athlete on the planet from our generation. Yep. He was special. So, and I think that hit a lot of people hard too. But just to know that those girls lost their father, it tore me apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was sitting in my parents' living room. I had just gotten home. The first time I had been home in months. Mm-hmm. And I sit on the couch and talking to my parents, and I'm like, I just picked up my phone, and I had like 20 notifications. It was buzzing like crazy. I'm like, something.
Yeah.
So I open my phone, and it's just Bleacher Report, ESPN, Twitter, everything.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on? And so I pull up Twitter, and it's just that's everything. And I'm like, there's no way that this is real. Like this.
Yeah, it didn't feel real.
This has to, like, this can't be the way that this guy goes out. Like, there's just no. And sure as shit. And that's what I thought of too instantly. I was like, I mean, you have more of like a father mentality. And when that first, like, in that situation, I guess, I just thought of like how much more he had to offer people in the world.
Right.
God damn, man. Like yeah. And then obviously I thought of his daughter, and then when his daughter was on the plane, it was just,
Oh, that was heartbreaking. There's nothing more heartbreaking than children dying like that. Oh my God.
like,
I think every person on the planet, oh my God, an incredibly large majority of the planet felt that when not because it was Kobe, but because you had just found out that not only Kobe's daughter, but there was a couple of her friends too, right? Oh man, hearing that 4 or 5 kids had just died in a helicopter crash. Oh man, that makes me want to cry right now.
Yeah, and then like, but my thing too, like trying to find the bright side and things. I don't think, since those two were the closest, obviously, like, just like you kind of, I don't know if this is necessarily true or not, but you kind of have that one kid where it's like you always have that special bond, and like obviously those two were the two that like they had that special bond, and I don't think that one could have lived without the other.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if and I mean, God forbid if one of them had to go, I can't.
Yeah, it's hard to think about.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say. It's sad. It really hurts. And I think the whole world was hurting.
Yeah. Well, that started 2020.
That's fucking February, or what is it? February?
Yeah.
February 17th, I think.
Yeah, I was mid-February for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's how we kicked it off.
Yeah. And then my thing too, bro, was like I had all this, like, you know how everybody fucking does this, and that whole New Year's, like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and I was doing really well with it, and I had a great New Year's. I just, like, starting my shit off right, and then that Kobe situation, and then I mean the whole world was just in the fucking dumps for a couple of days. It was weird. It was so, like, just everyone was just weird.
Yeah.
And then everything in March started to happen. I'll never forget. It's crazy. You can't remember what you had for breakfast, but in that one situation, like, something crazy happens, and you can remember, like, the feeling in your body. So obviously the Kobe situation we just talked about, but I think the craziest part of 2020, and one of the craziest parts of my life, like besides my grandma's situation, but not a lot of people know about that, but leave that out. But so when I got an email and a text, and then a notification from our university, all at the same time. I'm lifting at the rec, doing shrugs on this machine at the rec, and there's probably, I mean, our rec's ginormous, and this was obviously before everything happened, and so there's probably a little over 100 people in the rec, because it was right after classes, most of the classes, about 6 o'clock, 6:30, around there, and middle of March, and everyone got the email, the text, and the notification all at the same time. Everyone's phone. It was I can't. It was just a fucking scene out of a movie.
Yeah.
And explain the feeling, I would, but I can't. And everyone looks at their phones at the same time. 2-week break from vacation, like 2-week break from school, was basically like the gist of of what was going on. And and then that was when, at the time, we just need 2 weeks, and then this is all going to be okay. So we got a 2-week break, and then we're going to come back. Everything's going to be fun. When I tell you, like, I just looked around, and no one, I mean, obviously some people knew each other, but not a lot of people knew each other in this huge rec center. Everyone just looked at each other and just did not know what the fuck to do. It was just the craziest thing on the planet. And then that turned into having a 2-week break, and then that spiraled into working from home and being quarantined forever.
And then everything else that happened,
It's just crazy, man. And I don't even think, we're trying to, figure out, kind of put it into words, but it's so hard to put into words. Like, most of the time, we're two guys, like, it's hard to shut us up. Like, it's hard for us to not have words to say, but like.
Yeah, we literally started a podcast because we got tired of just talking to each other.
And man, it's just
And our friends didn't want to listen to us anymore.
exactly. They just told us shut up. But yeah, what's the saying? Don't go to therapy, just start a podcast.
Yeah, don't go to therapy, just start a podcast.
Yeah.
I think we need it on a T-shirt.
Yeah, that was a great tweet. I don't know who that was, but
yeah, I don't know who she was, but thank you. You just created our bestseller.
Mm-hmm. Merch. We got a lot of spot now.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. I don't even know what else to say.
No, it was just like I was at work because I watched the press conference on my phone of DeWine, and he's talking, and he said, as of Monday next week, we're closing everything down. I'm like, the fuck does that mean? People didn't know the extent. Like, could you not leave your house? People are like confused, questions everywhere, asking. We're like, all right, boom, wear a mask everywhere. All right, fuck it, throw the mask on. But what got crazy was I'm like, okay, because the gyms are closed. I'm like, boom, I'll just use the gym in the jail. Nobody goes in there. That shouldn't be a problem. Whatever. I'll suck it up. I'll figure it out. Boom. I get the email from the jail. Gym's closed. You can't go in the gym. So I'm like, I had literally just reached the peak of my body. Like my body was peaking. I had the academy supposed to start 2 months after that. So I was preparing for the corrections academy when the shutdown happened, and my body was starting to peak. I felt good. I felt strong. And then the gym shut, and I'm like, whoa. Like I was starting to lean out a little for the first time since when I very first started lifting in like 2017. I was starting to lean out. My body was starting to I was eating very well. I was consistent, and then boom. And it sounds like I'm complaining, but like I know a lot of people lost their jobs and their livelihoods, but everyone has a source of happiness. And my source of happiness, my source of stability, especially after my grandfather had just passed, I was in a dark place. So and I know a lot of people had bigger problems, but my source of happiness had gotten fucked up. So I thought that just crushed me, because all of the hard work I had earned, it didn't completely go away, but to pause it for that long just ripped me apart, especially when that coping mechanism for my attempted coping mechanism, because it wasn't, but it had just been taken away from me. So that was the hardest part for me, was just not being able to go in the gym, because I could still see Veda. I still had Scarlett. Most of my family was still here. We were still like gathering and hanging out between us. I had everything except the gym, and you just don't realize how big something is or how important it is to you until it's gone. Yeah, and that's what was shitty for me, was just losing that source of happiness.
Yeah, that was my thing too, to piggyback off that. You put that really well. I think that was for me too. When the gyms closed and when I couldn't go to school, that social interaction is just so important, and that's how I learn. Like I don't learn from fucking sitting at a computer. I don't. I cannot. I learned nothing. In the past semester and a half, I learned nothing. And most of my professors, it was a tough. I mean, exactly like you said. So many people have lost their jobs and lost their livelihoods, lost their family members. But just in my life, I was fortunate enough that I got to keep my job. I was able to work from home part time that I was doing, and then going to school part time. But obviously, school didn't come back. We went online, and then at that point, all of our professors really had no idea what to do, because
nobody's ever done it before.
Exactly, and it was so challenging for them. And God bless teachers, man, because this year has obviously been very, very tough, and I'm sure that Scarlett's been dealing with the same thing. It's just crazy. Sure. And so they were just and I don't blame them at all. So don't take this the wrong way, but it was so much more extra work on us, and then having to work and then doing that, not having a coping mechanism at all, sitting in this apartment in the same chair every day, waking up, doing the same shit.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean,
Felt like a simulation.
100%. I couldn't agree more. And it made you, I mean, just to get dark, it made you not want to wake up in the morning. Like, what the fuck do I have to do today? I'm gonna sit in the fucking chair. I'm gonna watch this dude do a lecture. I'm gonna do my work. I'm gonna, do whatever I had to do for my job, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna do the same shit the next day in the same chair with the same energy drink and the same lunch because I can't go outside. Because if I go outside, then everybody looks at me weird because I'm outside,
Yeah.
and then no one really knows what to do. Nothing around here was open, and just in my life, and exactly how you said, my biggest coping mechanism. I might sneeze. We're good. My biggest coping mechanism. My biggest coping mechanism is the gym and social interaction with my friends. Going to the bar, going to do whatever. Just on the weekends, having that escape from whatever I'm doing. If it's the bar, if it's going to Top Golf, if it's just hanging out at somebody's house, and that was completely erased. Completely erased. For what? For 3 months, 4 months?
Yeah.
And what hit me the biggest, I think, was my birthday is May 9th. And we were supposed to open up. Like, the bars were supposed to open up, restaurants were supposed to open up. And because that was like right at the point where we were starting to flatten the curve or whatever the saying was. God, if I have to hear that one more time. But
Yeah.
so that was happening. So we were going to try and start opening up. So I had this dinner planned with a bunch of my friends. I was supposed to go to dinner, and then we were going to go out afterwards, and obviously, take our precautions and everything. But we just had to get out of the house, and I was so excited to do that, and then shit didn't open.
Yeah.
But I'm so fortunate that I have the family that I do, and they actually gave me a really really nice birthday at my parents' house, and that was what got me through, all of the shit that was going on, and I'm just very fortunate that I have that.
Yeah.
But to Piggy, one more thing, and before you start,
Yeah. No.
I was, and like you were saying, the whole so many people have lost their jobs and lost their livelihoods, and both of us were fortunate enough that we were able to have that sustained income and have that that foundation. And what I've been seeing recently, so I don't know if you've seen. I'm sure you've seen it on some type of social media, but I've been watching most of the so the Barstool Fund they just started. They just started raising money for these small businesses, and just watching these people's reaction when when Dave calls them to tell them that they're getting the money it's just it puts everything into perspective.
Right.
So if you guys need to understand what's going on or anything like that, just check that out because it's honestly I've watched so many of them today and it's just their
It's
reactions. It really is.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I think is hilarious is the older generations and everything, they want to call us the softest generation or we're getting soft, but they didn't have to do shit like this.
Yeah.
They didn't have to push through a pandemic, keep working, finish college, do nothing but work, go home, go to school, go home. They didn't have to do shit like that. This shit was something that we've never seen before. Nobody's ever had to deal with this. And we did it at an incredible level. And who were the first person to start crying, start fighting back when they couldn't get haircuts, when they couldn't, it was the generation above us. It wasn't us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were still as soon as shit opened up, we went and partied, 100%. Yeah. But who was the one screaming, protesting because they couldn't get haircuts, because they couldn't do small things?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's funny that we're the softest generation. We got a bunch of people standing outside screaming over haircuts.
And that's exactly what you said earlier was the whole you don't understand what you have until it's taken away from you.
Yeah.
And you can't just go and have a simple haircut. I remember my sister cut my hair. I was like, bro, I had a 12-pack of beer. I'm like, Chloe, I can't handle this shit no more. I'm gonna need fixed up. And she just basically shaved the side of my head and left the top. Dude, the top of my hair was up here. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say about this year, other than Corona has just been something special.
Wild.
Something
How
obviously
did
we've never
how
seen.
did you deal with quarantine real fast? Like
I
how did you,
don't I don't think I dealt with it well at all.
I didn't either. That's the yeah.
I'm
I
a
did not
very
at all.
social person.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like I need the gym at this point.
Oh yeah.
I was going from the jail is not a positive environment.
The
There's
opposite.
a reason it has the highest divorce rate, highest suicide rate, highest substance abuse rate, highest all of those negative things. There's a reason for that. It's because your human mind is not meant to be in a jail in that environment for 25 plus years.
Mhm.
You're not meant for that. So when you don't have like the one thing they stress the most when you're getting hired, you're going through the academy, you're going through orientation, is have a outlet. If you don't have an outlet, you're gonna lose your mind. It's going to happen. And that's what began to happen. And I was just like, fuck this, man. I had gotten a really negative place, especially like I said, after losing my grandfather. I would say my mental state was already vulnerable.
Yep.
My mental toughness had been shaken. Like there wasn't something like somebody could walk up to me and say to me that was gonna hurt me and put me in a dark place. But the circumstance was killing me. You were just working to pay bills.
Yep.
And I think if I would have been able to think about it a little differently, then obviously I would have come out a little ahead. But it felt like I was just working to pay bills.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know that I handled it well at all. I tried running, hate running. I did that because I still had to prepare for the academy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I still had shit I had to do. Luckily, um, gyms opened up, I would say about 2 months before we started the academy. Not even 2 months, maybe a month before we started the academy. And I was able to get back in solid, I wouldn't say solid shape, but good enough shape where I didn't struggle through the academy.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, man, it was just I don't know that I dealt with it well at all.
Yeah, I didn't deal with it well at all either. That was kind of my thing was, once I couldn't leave my apartment, I was like, what the hell? What do I do? Like, what do I do now? Because I had,
Honestly,
huh?
if we would have started this podcast earlier, I probably would have dealt with it better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's just an outlet to talk about shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know that I dealt with it well at all.
Yeah. I don't even know if I could have dealt with it better. There's just like nothing
Yeah.
that, I mean, maybe my mental state could have been a little bit better. And I was just like, I have like not like bad anxiety, but like at some points, yeah, I do get anxiety to a certain extent, and that just heightened that so much. And it was yeah, man, it was just tough. I'm glad that we're on the other side of it. I'm glad that things are kind of looking up. Um, I'm glad that things are open now. Go to the gym. I can go to my
Right.
office. I can, have those social interactions. I just feel so goddamn bad for the people that have been so affected throughout all this.
Yeah,
It sucks, man. It really
for
does
sure.
suck.
Because like you said, we were very fortunate to not be a part because your job didn't shut down completely. You went to
Hmm.
working at home. Jails don't shut down for anything. Doesn't matter. There's people there there's people that there's shit that just has to be done. So we were very fortunate to be a part of the essential workers. I haven't heard that in a while. Um,
Yeah. Well,
essential workers groups.
we were essential when they needed us to work, and then now
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, yeah,
Now it's just everybody. Now you're just back
we
to work.
won't get into that because,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah. So it was really good to be a part of the essential workers because we did have that positive aspect. But yeah, like you said, it's just tough mentally to just be locked down like that.
That quarantine 30 on my belly hasn't been great either.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I started this year at 240. I'm gonna finish it right around 268. And not all of it was fat. Because I'm like looking at pictures from then, I was like I said, I was leaner. I
Hmm.
was a little more toned. I'm big now, man. I put on 30 pounds, and I can feel it walking around daily. But when I'm doing athletic things, making athletic movements, or doing whatever, I don't feel it as much as I thought I would.
Yeah. Yeah, I started at about little of about 212, I believe. Because that was when I was really starting to get into lifting, was like the kind of the second half of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say 212 to 215. And now I'm actually at like 226 now. But I was at when in quarantine, I was at like 242, 243 was like
Yeah.
my highest. And that was no muscle at all. Like no
Right.
muscle gain from that. Like that's 10 pounds. That was just 10 pounds of not moving
10
for
pounds
6
or
months.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like we said, 2020 was a very special year, very challenging, but I think it helped a lot of us. I think it helped a lot of us in a lot of different ways.
I completely
It
agree.
birthed this idea.
It did.
Quarantine birthed this idea.
It did.
So I'm forever grateful for everything that quarantine gave me, even the wisdom.
Yeah.
Like it might have
Just
been shitty in the time, but I think everybody learned a little bit about themselves and learned a little bit about the people around them.
I'm definitely mentally tougher and
Oh yeah,
mentally more prepared for things to go south.
yeah, for sure. All right, so moving on from that, um, we got 2021 on the horizon, and we're about to make this a fucking movie. We're about to make this the best year.
Facts.
Not just us, but everybody listening to this podcast. Everybody, 2021 is going to be special for everybody. So, what are you looking to do in 2021?
So I think this is very important. I know both of us. It's kind of dope because you have the same mindset that I do.
Mm-hmm.
We're both very goal oriented, and I think that is so beneficial because you hold me accountable, I hold you accountable for things, and not just just I mean everyday things for that matter. But I want you guys to participate in this series. I mean, I know we have a decent amount of people that listen to this, which is honestly awesome and crazy.
Yeah,
But I want you guys to participate in this. And what I found, and what I actually did in quarantine, is bought myself a whiteboard, and I wrote down my goals on the whiteboard. I wrote down every day what I had to do that day for school. I had 4 different colors. Lifting was in black, school was in red, my job was in blue. And I would just write down day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, down the days. And at the beginning of the week, I'd write down everything that I had. Lifting, what I was going to lift that day, what my days off were. And then I would go through and I would write down my school shit and my work stuff. And when you write stuff down, man, and you see it every day, and it's just
right.
ingrained in your head over and over and over and over again, then yeah, you don't forget
It
it.
becomes
And
real.
it becomes real, exactly. And that's probably been the most beneficial thing for me. And yeah, I think that that's very important. And for you guys too, just I mean, write your goals down, man. Get a fuck it, get a piece of paper and a sticky or in a tack. Hang the shit up in your room. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
not you don't have to buy a whiteboard, but just write it down, hang it up in your room. You see it every day. You wake up in the morning, you're like, all right, bet, here we go. So I think 2 of my biggest things. We were talking about this before we started. You kind of seemed a little hesitant, but I'm bound and determined to get shredded. I just want to be absolutely shredded out of my mind. And I think that if I can get down to around 220 and continue to put on muscle, and I don't have to have a 6 pack, but have really defined abs. I have defined abs now, but I need better. I need to just lose a bit more fat in my lower stomach,
Right.
and then just keep building my upper body. But I'd like to be down to around 220 to maybe a little bit over 220, but around there would be my optimal weight. And then just keep my biggest thing I think is just to keep on my gym grind 5 to 6 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Remember rest, and my eating was really good. Um, at the end of November, beginning of December, it was really good, and then it just went to shit.
Yeah.
So I need to get back on that. Um, and just focusing on that. And then as another another kind of spot, um, just to keep, I think my obviously we've had conversations about my job and stuff, but I think that just getting as much and attaining as much knowledge as I can from my job, being full time, working with the people that I work with every day, learning the ins and outs of what goes on, so that I can take that knowledge and apply it to that company for as long as I work there, and then hopefully, spread out and grow. And that's just what honestly, like I've
Right.
come. I, it's crazy because I was at the point in my life where I was like, I need to move, I need to do this, I need to do that. But I'm just like, I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm happy with you know um, what I got going on. So just keep plugging away at it and keep doing the best that I can at what I'm doing.
For sure. Yeah, I think that's huge. The fact of growth and how focused you are on not even focused, but how excited and motivated you are. And I just want to, my thing, one of my goals would definitely be to make sure that you're maintaining that throughout the year. I want to help you in every way you can maintain that fire because it's awesome to see how excited you are to start
Yeah, well, that's both of us
the
too.
new job.
Like that's what I was saying. We're two very similar in that aspect. It's just like motivated. Like why do something if you're not gonna do it with what
Do it.
everything you got?
Yeah. Yeah. Why do it at all if you're not going to do it at all? Yeah.
All right, I want to
So,
hear goals. I'm intrigued.
my goals are interesting. There are a lot of setting myself up for the future kind of thing. Um, Scar and I were looking at a house tomorrow.
Ooh, nice.
So definitely, I would say early 2021, being in our own place and having everything set up and running the way we wanted to there. Um, so that's definitely early 2021 goal. Veda's birthday, 3 years old. That'll be amazing. Um, Preparing to get her in preschool is obviously one of the goals. But as far as me personally, I want to put in to be certified or put in, I don't know how to word this. I want to put in, because I have to put in a letter to the sheriff to get on the list to go get certified. And when you get certified, there's more things you can do as far as like um, details working. You can make a lot of money. Let me just put it like that. You can bring in the cheese if you are certified. So I'm going to do that early January, and my goal is to be put on that list and complete it by 2021. It's set, or by 2022. It's 7 to 8 months. So if I can get in January, February, March,
You
it's
could be
easily
done at
attainable,
the end of this year.
right?
Yeah.
End of 2021. So that's definitely a goal. I want by, which is another reason I'm going to start doing these 2-a-days, because you have to run, you have to do, in a minute, you have to do 36 push-ups. Check. That's clean. I can do that easy. 32 sit-ups. That might be flip-flop. Those numbers might be flip-flop, but either way, I'm not worried about that. You got to do a mile and a half in 11:58. So, and it's not
Impressive.
something that I'm worried about. It's something that I got to prepare for, kind of thing. If that makes sense. So that's something I'm really excited to. I haven't had a reason to push myself in a long time. So we got to dig deep and see if that lion's still in there. Because
Hmm.
back in
When
the
you
day,
got
it was
something to
so
push
easy.
for,
Yeah.
you're gonna be dangerous.
Yeah. And that's what I miss. I think that was one thing about sports in high school was I was so competitive.
Hmm.
So anytime there was an opportunity to compete, or man, I just love to compete. So anytime that I was like pushed, or I had a goal that I could achieve on a decent stage, like a basketball game with a crowd or something like that, there was just so much motivation to get shit done.
Hmm.
There was just such a competitive fire that I truly miss. It's just like I felt like I lost a piece of me when I stopped playing sports,
Yep.
because there was just like there was a competitive anger. I left that, like that pop smoke growl. I lost that.
The snap, snap, growl.
I don't even know that I lost it. I just lost the place to use it, I
Yep.
guess. And I just miss competing in general. That's why intramural flag football was so fun and accurate,
Oh,
because
If you would have stayed, we would have had a T-shirt by now. But
Oh yeah, yeah. We'd have
that was
developed
so
something
much fun.
nice. Yeah, especially when we made some coaching adjustments.
Yeah.
Got Mo off quarterback, moved some
Hey.
stuff around.
Best center that flag football.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Ever seen. Yeah. It's funny because my first passing touchdown was a hookup with yours truly, Mr. Brennan Lindsay, a 60-yard bomb.
That was a bomb. Yeah, that was the game that the other team actually had fans.
Yeah.
And yeah, yep.
And at that point, your guys' team, because you guys had been there for 2 years, you had played 2 seasons, was 0-11.
Well, okay, I was not the quarterback in that situation. I was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Not utilizing my talents in the best way possible. That's coaching, not on me.
Which is also funny because if you would have been quarterback and I would have been receiver, things would have went much differently.
Yeah. Bro, that's my biggest thing is like I just miss letting the juice loose in the cannon. Just fucking.
God, it was so much fun.
Oh.
Intramurals, what a blast.
Throwing anything. I just like a piece of paper. I don't care. I just throw it.
I don't think people realize how good you were at baseball either.
Yeah.
There was
There was. If I would have put on actual like muscle and weight in high school and, you know, not had as many leg problems as I did, there was talent there. Yeah.
You know what story we're going to have to get into is the baseball tryouts. Do you remember that? The baseball tryouts was amazing.
Yes. Oh my God. I forgot that even happened.
I did too until just now.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Bro, you weren't as bad as you said you were.
Stop it.
No. I would tell you you sucked.
We're gonna have to get in that. Yeah. That's
write that down.
Yeah. God, what a day. Anyway. Yeah, man. So we got so much. We got a lot to be excited. This podcast, I got a great feeling about everything we're doing. Oh, the other thing that I'm doing 2021, I want to get going is my YouTube channel for the gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I want that to be. That's something Malik and I are looking into getting really charged up there.
You're streaming on Twitch and then you're posting it on YouTube? Is that how that's working?
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna do a mix of everything in that regard.
Gotcha.
It'll just be YouTube videos of like horror games, let's plays. Scarlett and I'll probably do a few things. It'll probably just be like vlogging, honestly. Vlogging with gaming. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't really know what direction I'm gonna take it. I think I'm just gonna post everything on there and just see what happens.
That's a good start, honestly. I mean, that's what we started to do.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think that'll be dope. One thing too regarding this, I mean, obviously we want the whole guest situation. We got some things brewing in that regard for sure. We got some things brewing. I think you guys will really enjoy that, and the people that we can have and the people that we have lined up, and
people
all that
talk to.
Yep.
That's some exciting stuff.
That'd be sweet for sure. I'm really excited about that. That's probably one of the most things I'm excited about. But I'm trying to plan a weekend to where I can come down and hopefully you'll have your own place and I can come down and we can get us two, Zach, Malik, and Mo, all on and have an episode of this and a YouTube live and have a camera set up and us just bullshit for a couple hours. I think that would be. I think
that'll get pretty out of pocket.
That would be absolutely legendary. We just need more mics and an actual. I want to get an actual really good camera. So
and an HR department.
Yeah.
Not even HR. I think PR. We need public relations because we are canceled.
If us five get in a room together, there is no way that we don't get kicked off the internet. There's a 0% chance.
Spotify's gonna be like, no.
Yeah, but I don't care. I'm fine.
It is what it is.
We'll just go live on YouTube. So whoever's watching the live, they can't erase their memory.
Exactly.
Yeah. There we go.
Take us off Spotify, but you can't take us out your mind.
That's facts.
All right, brother. Well, it's been another fantastic hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. I just blacked out, like straight up.
It happens every time.
Out.
Happens every time.
Yikes.
But as always, if you've made it this far, we truly appreciate you. We love you with all of our hearts.
Write down your damn goals.
Write down your fucking goals. Don't write down your damn fucking goals.
Yeah. And 2020 fucking sucked. We get it. It fucking sucked, bottom line. But 2021, we about to eat. We about to eat.
We're using 2020 to make 2021 something truly incredible.
Yes, sir. Right. As always,
we love you, but we gotta go. So I'm out of here. Peace. Deuces.